Hello, hello. Happy holiday season, happy winter solstice and Christmas and all of the things. Wherever you're at, I hope that you are enjoying this season. I know my office has become the wrapping station, so it's like an absolute disaster. But I'm very excited that we're almost there. We're almost to the finish line. Hi, Chantel. Good to see you over on LinkedIn. I am today testing out going live on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube all at the same time. I'll talk about this shortly, but Instagram just enabled StreamYard to stream to Instagram, which is like a huge, exciting, awesome update from StreamYard and from Instagram. So just as you're coming in, say hello in the chat, ask me any questions you have about content calendars. I've figured out my little system for me and my clients. And I would love to know like if there's any specific things about the content calendar that like overwhelm you or you notice you don't actually end up using. I am going to share an agenda shortly, but later on in the live stream, I'm going to show you exactly what my calendar, my system looks like. And I'm also going to give you access to that. Like I have it on my website, but I have a discount code coming up that will be valid until the 31st. So that if you are like, one of my goals is to actually produce content, I got you and I want to see it. So first and foremost, a little bit about me. I am a live stream producer and what I like to refer to as a content traffic cop. So I go live with my clients usually once a month, and then oh, Kyle, good to see you. I get distracted. This is why live streaming is bad for me sometimes because I see these comments. Good to see you, Kyle. Thank you for being here. I am also terrible at keeping my content up to date, which is why it's kind of funny that I am talking about this because I help people with it all day long. So by the time it's time for me to produce content, I'm like, ugh. So I'm kind of talk to you about like my lazy way of producing content. Essentially, I help my clients go live once a month and then we repurpose their content so it lives on. And I want you to be able to like kind of copy that same idea because it's so helpful. It gives you structure and it gives you consistency even when you don't feel creative and like you want to post. So first and foremost, I always share a few of my wins and fails. Feel free to share yours in the comments. My big win is Instagram Live. I'm so excited about this feature from StreamYard. It is working right now, I think, hopefully. And it took me a little bit of figuring it out, but it's going. So I have gone live officially every single month of this year. For me, that's a huge win. So I'm very excited about that. And then my fail of the month is I had some website fails. Like my website wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, which for me is very embarrassing because it's like I help other people do that so much that when it comes to same with my content, my website, my content, when it doesn't work, it's so embarrassing because it's like I don't put enough effort into it like I do for my real work or my clients who are paying me. And so when it happens to me, it's just like huge bummer. So that was my fail of the month. Feel free to share yours. We're all about it. My whole theme of 2023 has been failing. That's been my goal. And I have succeeded, my friends, at failing and failing often. And I'm totally okay with it. It's really changed my relationship with failure and it's kind of been fun. So, all right, today's agenda. First and foremost, meet me, share wins and fails in the comments, check. First, we're going to talk about how often should you be posting. I have kind of a different idea on this than I think most people who are like social media managers. So I'm going to share that. The best way to boost your like results on the algorithm, again, I think this is kind of a unique take on that. And then I'm going to show how I create a calendar and how I stay consistent and how I help my clients stay consistent. So first, I want to ask you, how often are you posting right now? Like, not what you wish you were posting, but like truth, how much are you posting? For me, for the month of 20 or the year of 2023, I literally just wanted to post once a month. Like, I was not posting consistently on LinkedIn. I have a lot of like ideas and things that I love about LinkedIn, and I use them on my clients and I don't use them for my own personal content. And I was like, you know what? Now is the time. I'm going to just at least post once a month on LinkedIn. And I am so happy to say I have done that. I've done that. Not only going live, but also posting other content, and it's turned into almost a weekly thing. So I'm very excited about that. So let me know how often you're posting currently, or if you don't want to admit to it, I get that too. But the second question I would ask is, what is your goal with your posts? So for me, let's see, Chantel says, new year, new targets. Yes, 100%. I'm here for this. I agree. I got you, Chantel. I can't wait to see your content. It's going to be great. The goal of your post really matters though. If you are trying to go viral, I'm not trying to go viral, my friends. Like, I think that would be a lot of pressure. I actually just want to show up consistently, showcase what I am able to do on live streaming, and create some relationships with people on LinkedIn specifically. So that's my goal. Oh, Meg, good to see you. You say poster and ghoster here. Ooh, I have something for you because yes, when I post and then I have the pressure of having to like follow up with everybody, my family knows I don't even text people back. Like, Natasha's in the background. She's my sister-in-law. She's laughing because I'm the worst at texting people back. So when it comes to social media, I'm also the worst at comments. Like, I'm horrible at it. So I'm going to talk a little bit on that, Meg, here soon. So stay tuned. But the goal of my social media is connection, especially with people that I don't see often. I have a lot of like friends who are like, I feel like they're my real life friends, but I've never met them. So I call them my in real life internet friends because I don't know them, but I feel like I know them. And anyways, so if that's you, if you're here for more of like a relationship building, showcasing like what you can do, that's the space we're in. We're not really talking about like creating content that's going to make you millions by sharing affiliate links. Not really my area of expertise. So if you are a none poster, a some poster, or a weekly poster, here are my suggestions for you. And this is my humble opinion. If you post zero amount, I want you to try to post once a month. If you post some, I want you to try to post weekly. That is me. I'm in that category. If you are a weekly poster, you like are posting once a week consistently, go for daily. Daily is great. Daily is wonderful. I wish I was a daily person. I'm not right now. The phase of my life, my business, that's not me. So that is just my humble opinion on how often you should post. The other thing I want to add is when you should post. I think that is a question I get asked so much that I don't have a straight answer for. And anybody who says that they do have a straight answer for you, I would get a little curious on that. I do think if you were a daily poster, having it at the same time of day so people know that you're posting is wonderful. And just decide on what that looks like, when you can be consistent on that, and when you can really dedicate time after you post to engage. That's what I would focus on. Don't do just some random time. Make sure it's like you have some time after that post to engage with people on the platform, whatever platform that is. Kyle says, I try and post weekly, but at least twice, Tuesday and Thursday, unless it's a special day. But I still feel like it's still not enough. Yes, Kyle. And depending on what your goals are, it sometimes can't be enough. But I would ask if that like is consistent. I bet you can do it daily for sure. But weekly is wonderful. Twice a week, wonderful. You're killing it. You're crushing it. Okay. So that leads me to my biggest missed opportunity from creators. Meg, I'm talking to you right now because this is where the magic happens, my friends. It's in the comments and the DMs. So I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, I feel like so many of us feel like we are like the amount of information that just like is constantly in our face is exhausting, and like it's hard to be like, okay, like do I trust this person? Like that's a really cool idea, but does it actually work? For example, there was like this thing on my Instagram that came up that was like a filter for your bath water, so when your babies take a bath, they like don't bathe in dirty water from your like actual house. Anyway, so I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. And I clicked on it and I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Like, you know, anyway, in the comments, there were people that like legit, this video had gone viral, by the way. There were people in the comments who were literally like, there's no way this thing works because of this and this and this. I work at a water filtration, whatever. And like, that doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. So the comment section was very interesting to me because it actually kind of, I don't know, just like pay attention to your comments, pay attention to your audience, because first of all, the internet comments are scary. I know that is a scary place at times. But second of all, that is where you're going to get the most feedback and information from your audience on what's working, what's not, if they trust you, what they're trusting you, how much they're trusting you, where they're kind of feeling weird about things. Pay attention to those. Pay attention to your DMs as well, because that is also a scary place at times. I'm in plenty of creators' DMs that I'm like, please don't send people weird DMs, guys. Like the social media team sees it. It's awkward for all of us. Like, please don't. But in the DMs is a real opportunity to like connect and make real life money, real life relationships, because for the most part, that is where you are connecting with people who want to buy your service or product, people who want to hire you for speaking engagements. That's when I see a lot on LinkedIn. And if you're not paying attention to your DMs and your comments, you're missing those opportunities. So try to engage where you can on there. Try to, make sure you're building relationships versus just talking at your audience, which is why I always say connection first, and why I love live streaming, because like Meg said earlier, post and ghost, we don't want to do that. However, we are busy, and often that happens. So live streaming is my way around that, because I know right now I've got 30 minutes to connect with my audience in real time, responding to the comments that come through, answering questions, and it's not going to be me having to like pull my phone out at dinner and respond to something. I don't like that. I don't want to be the person who's always on my phone. So this has been my way around it, and it's worked, and it's been wonderful. And I love, love, love live streaming for that purpose. It's a way to create and connect with your audience where you're not tied to your phone. And I think people appreciate that. And I think people can understand that when you are live, that like it's awkward sometimes. Live is stressful sometimes, all of those things. But I think the internet is starved for this kind of real content creation. So that's my way around it. If you find your life is too chaotic, mine is, to be posting daily and commenting back to everybody daily, this is a great way to produce content where you will connect with your audience. So all of that is my soapbox a little bit, but like, how do we do it, Shelb? Like, what do we do? So content calendars. My favorite is Notion. I have spent a lot of years trying to figure out the best place for my team to live and my clients' stuff to live. And this is where we live. This is where we hang out. It's Notion. I love it. I want you to love it. It makes sense. Listen, my sister-in-law is on my team and she's in the background saying yes, she loves it too, and that makes me happy. So what it is, it's great for organizing, planning, collaborating. It's literally like it's kind of overwhelming at first because it's so awesome and there's so many things that you can do with it that it gets a little overwhelming, which is why I'm glad you're here, because I have like the easiest template for you to just it's a content calendar. That's all you have to worry about. Notion, you can do a million things on, but today we're talking about Notion as far as like a content calendar. It is not a scheduling tool for social media. It's not a buffer or oh crap, I'm forgetting what the other ones are called. But buffer is like it like posts automatically for you. Most social media tools at this point have a scheduler built into them, and I would recommend using them. LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube are the three places I'm streaming right now. All of those have an option for you to schedule ahead on the actual platform. And you'll want to use that for algorithm's sake. You're going to want to use that. So if you are on your computer, scan this with your phone. If you are on your desktop, go to shelbymerriweather.com and it's under Shelby Systems. And it's going to be the content calendar for Notion. When you go to like checkout, because it's like a digital product, it's a digital download on my site, use the code live with Shelb and it will be free. So this is just until the 31st of December, but I want you to have this so that moving forward in the new year, you have an actual content calendar in place that you can put all of the goodness that I can't wait to see. So when you get that, it's going to have you create a Notion account, and then it's going to have a link to this page. When you get on this page, hit the duplicate button, and it will add to your Notion. And then you can have a content calendar that's already built out for you. Ta-da! You have a calendar. So this is what it will look like when it adds to your own Notion. It'll probably go to like the white, which will let you like click and add and all of these things. So the biggest thing here is spacing your content out. So I know for me, I go through seasons of like, man, I have like 7 million ideas that I want to share all at once on Instagram and LinkedIn. And then I'll like have like 2 months where like nothing comes to me. I'm sleep deprived. I haven't eaten well. I don't know what it is. No ideas come. And so having it where I can literally, I put in my ideas and I space them out. So I know like I'm going to post this idea this time. It helps. You know that. That's why you're here. So on your calendar, there's going to pop up a little like plus mark. Let's see. Chantel says, does this include international special days? No, this is like a very blank calendar, Chantel. Like this doesn't have anything, just like, I think if I'm understanding your question right, like it's not like a calendar like how you would like buy a calendar from the store. This is like just blank numbers on a calendar where we are going to add your content to. So by hitting the little plus mark, it will create a page in Notion. So Notion is going to be where you're going to plan out your posts, where you're going to write them out before you add them to Scheduler. Because when you put them, especially LinkedIn people, LinkedIn is horrible at, I'm sorry, LinkedIn. I know I love you, but I'm on here saying this. Sometimes those drafts that you save on LinkedIn get lost. So if you are drafting something in the LinkedIn drafts and you hit save draft, a lot of times it doesn't save, which is why I think having it somewhere else is like way, way better, so that not only do you have that if the draft like doesn't work, but you also have it to reuse at a later date. So have it somewhere like Notion to save, basically. So when you hit that plus mark on this calendar, it's going to create a page. I have created templates on my team where we have like a video template, a live show template, a graphic template, or a carousel template, things like that. So play around with that template button because it's super duper helpful. And we also tag them. So we have video, written, live, newsletter, whatever it is, so that I'll show you in a minute why we do that and why it's helpful. So we have the date where we had just hit that plus. We have a tag for what kind of content it is to help with organization. And then this is kind of like the sweet spot. Hey, Leslie, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to make sure you get my discount code, Leslie, if you're trying to get a content calendar. So send me a DM if you need that. Okay, so anyway, back, I got distracted again. So you can have different views on this calendar, which is like the coolest, most fun part of this Notion board, which is why Notion is where we're hanging out at. So on the content calendar, and I realize this is small and I should have maybe just shared my screen versus the slide. I'm going to remove myself for just a second so maybe you can see it better. Still can't see very great. Okay, so, well, now I'm big. Okay. So if you see on the 15th, there's like a video post. We have that on there. That you're going to be able to click into as a page, and it will look like this right here. You will see where you can tag it, all of that. So when we click into this little thing right here, it's going to pull up a page. It will also, if you want a view of a table, you can have that. And that is really, really awesome if you are like a to-do list person, because you will just see it all like, oh, okay, I need to do this. And you can edit those tags. So like, for example, if you have something like to do or to film or to write caption, those are great tags too. You'll have like a to-do list, which is great. A lot of people love Trello. I think it's Trello, where you have like these boards, cards. I can't remember what they call them, but you have that view here as well. So again, on that content calendar, you're going to have the calendar, a to-do list, and a board view. All three of them, however you want to see them. For me personally, I like to have all three because I use them differently with each, like what I'm doing. So if I need to see like, oh, consistency wise, I look at my content calendar. If I need to see what I need to do, I'm looking at my board view, because usually I'm like, I have one that says waiting on Shelb for my team. Like everybody is waiting on me, and that helps me know, don't get distracted by like wanting to do this or wanting to do that. Waiting on Shelb list is like where you need to be. So that helps me on the board view. And then the table view kind of gives me like an overall what's going on and how to help. So I know that that's a lot of information. And as you get going on that, you're probably going to have more questions. So feel free to add any questions that you have in the comments right now, or DM me later. And I will definitely like help how I can and help you answer some questions, because I think this system, this content calendar system that we've set up in Notion, I'm like super proud of. And it just like, it makes sense and has made sense for a lot of my clients that before, listen, nobody wants a new username and password. I get that. I don't want a new username and password. I hate having my work scattered from heck to breakfast. I almost said something different, but I love having everything live in Notion. And one of those places that one of those things that lives in Notion is my content and all of my clients' content for me to see. And this has like actually cut down on my username and password situation because it's all in Notion. So I know. So that being said, I, Shelby, do not do all of this by myself. I have the most amazing people on my team. They're really my sister-in-laws. And somebody told me, like, don't tell people you work with your sister-in-laws. Like, say you have a team. I do have a team, but they are my sister-in-laws, and I'm not gonna not say that they're my sister-in-laws. Um, let's see. Leslie says, "I love more usernames and passwords." Right, right, Leslie, right. I literally was talking to somebody about this yesterday. It's like it's gotten so overwhelming. It's gotten so overwhelming. But all of that to say, I am overwhelmed by content myself, Shelby, and I do this all day for people and I help them make sense of their content. But even my own content, I have to have somebody else help me make it make sense. Not only like I need them to tell me like, Shel, that sentence makes no sense, but I also need them to say, hey, you said you were going to post on Monday. It's now Thursday. Like, come on, like kind of that squeaky wheel thing. If you're one of those like me who needs that accountability, ding ding ding, Notion has the best option for this. Assigning tasks to your team members or just like having somebody else see your content will help you post your content. I promise you. On this, you add a property and you can add people. So it'll pop up with all the people on your team. For me, I have different people on my team who are good at different things, and Notion has been great for us to like add like, oh, this person is going to do this and this person is going to do this. Makes it super easy once you tag this person in that page, like this video post. They will get notified and you can collaborate back and forth on there about like maybe there's something that you need that isn't there and so can grab it. Like all of that can happen on each individual page. And it's like all nice and organized and it's just so beautiful and I love it. So this is how you would ask or how you would add somebody else on your team. Meg says, I love that they're your sister. Thank you for loving that they're my sister-in-laws because I also, and Leslie says, I also love that your sister-in-laws are your team. Guys, I'm getting off on a little bit of a sidetracked thing, but it is the coolest thing. All of us get to stay home with our kids, and we do this with our children, usually like in the background. Literally, my niece is like bouncing around in the background right now. It's the coolest thing, and I'm so excited about it. So anyway, thank you for loving that. So you can add people on your team to be a part of it, which is great and wonderful. And it makes it super nice in this task, in this like to-do list form, the list form, because you can see exactly who's in charge of what, who's responsible for what. For example, for us, like video is one space. I do live show producing most of the time. So I'm always like assigned to any live shows. That's me. Any graphics, that's Tosh, like things like that. And it's super duper helpful. And it's also super awesome. I think my clients like that they know who's like involved with what on their project, which is cool. So yeah, it's been great. And I hope it's great for you. Please, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I want to help you produce content consistently. I want it to be like easy, low stress for you because like you produce better content when it's easy, low stress. People, don't be producing content just because you know you need to. Produce content because you know you're adding value and you know you're connecting with people who it's pretty obvious when somebody is checking a box content wise. Listen, we've all been there. I've been there, I've done it. But the better system you have in place to produce your content, the more valuable your content is going to get, the more relationships you're going to build online, the more money you're going to make, people. It makes sense, and it's hard to put work and time into creating content that sometimes flops, sometimes doesn't work, and I get that. But it matters. It matters. Your content matters. What you're putting out into the world matters. We all need it. Please do it well. Please do it the best way that you can. Let's see. Kyle says, is it worth to pay to get your content more out there? Ooh, okay, wait. Kyle, maybe I'm understanding your question. Maybe I'm not. Are you asking if it's worth like hiring a social media team, Tate? Or are you asking if you should put money behind the posts? Like on Instagram, you can boost your content by putting money behind it. So I might need a little bit more clarity on that question because I have thoughts on both. Let's see. Meg says, ugh, isn't that the truth? Easier to post when it's low stress. And it's better. It's better, my friend. Like when you are not stressed about it getting out there and you know, like you're good. I try to say for 3 months. That doesn't always happen. But if you're good for about 3 months, it is better. It's low stress. Okay, if I should put money behind the post, depends on what you're posting, Kyle. If it is from your I guess it depends. For me, I would need to know where you're posting and what your goal is. Because sometimes, yes, it makes sense. Like if you have something that the more eyes that see it, the more money you're making, like, and it's super, like, we all know what it is. And like, I don't know, it's like an ad for something that you're really passionate about and know is great. I think that that is worth it. If you just want to like get your name out there more and you want just like your own personal self to have more views, I would say probably not. Probably not. But I'm no expert on that. The only I've run LinkedIn ads. I've not done Facebook ads. I've not done Instagram ads, but I have done LinkedIn ads. And what I've noticed about the LinkedIn ad thing is they give you like all of these metrics, which are wonderful and great. And it's very like practical. Like it's very like, for the one I did was to help somebody's course get more views. And like, I feel like it did work on one front of like more people clicked on that ad to see the course there. But I also think it's just as effective and maybe more so to do on a personal page, because LinkedIn, you can't put money behind your personal posts. So we might have to talk more, Kyle, I guess is like the end of my rant there, because that it's very nuanced for sure. So Leslie, if you're here, don't worry. I forgot I put this at the end of the presentation as well. But here is a link to my calendar. You can also navigate to it from shelbymerriweather.com and just go to Shelby Systems and you'll see a content calendar for Notion, or you can scan it here. Again, when you go to check out, use the code Live with Shelb and you should get it for free. And it should be pretty easy for you to copy and duplicate onto your own Notion. So we are over time. I usually go live for about 30 minutes. We're at 33. So please just produce quality content by planning ahead. That's the gist of this. Plan ahead so that it shows up well, and it will make your life and everybody else's life much better if you have a plan in place. So, and I would say set yourself up for some realistic expectations of how often you're going to post and what you're going to post about. Don't try to think of it I have done that too. Don't try to think of it day of, but if you have to, obviously, but try to think even in like themes of the month, like think you got 12 months. Can you think of 12 things you can talk about? Even if you repeat it, like do like 6 and then 6 or something. Like I think if you get really clear with yourself, you're going to realize you have plenty of content. Chantel, one last question. Let's see. I started to create my content calendar manually. Would you recommend the use of AI? Ooh, okay. I'll talk for just a second. AI ideas or to create content. Okay, those are two different things, Chantel. If you haven't watched Dave Burst on LinkedIn Learning, he is brilliant with the way he uses AI. It's like he uses it as a brainstorming partner, and he uses it so creatively. Like he is like such a brilliant creative mind. I would watch his course if you need or want to start using AI, because there's a way to use it. If you're using it to create content, edit. Like use it, but use it as like the very, very, very first draft, and edit. For me personally, what I have seen, even with my content, that's like if I'm helping somebody else draft a post, it's almost more work for me to prompt the AI properly than it is for me to just write the caption or write the post or create the content. I do think as AI, like, what's the word, matures or whatever, I think it will be different where it might be helpful. But for me right now, it hasn't made sense as far as creation is concerned. I guess it depends on if you're doing Canva has some really cool new AI tools, totally worth looking into. but like chat GPT type thing, for me, it's requiring more prompting than it's worth personally. But I think there is some space there. Chantel, there's also, her name's Shanae Chapman on LinkedIn, and she is launching a course that's going to be about AI tools. I'm not sure if it's going to be specific to content creation, but she's another person that I would recommend checking out. So hopefully that's helpful. Anyway, Anya, good to see you. Thanks for being here, friend. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. It was good talking to you today. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Bye.